Welcome back, YouTube. On my way over to Dad's house here, we're doing a quick little update video on the Flathead. Unfortunately, I've been super busy with work, goofy weather related stuff. Dad, now that he's got his new retirement program going, it's a whole lot more time off than I do, so he's been making progress on the motor that I haven't been able to get over here and track. So let's get down here. He's poking around in the shop now. We'll check it out, see what he's got going on, see how far he's gotten, and get a little update. Hello?
Oh, hi.
Knew you were down here working on it.
Sailing away.
What do you got going?
Oh, just
Pistons?
putting the pistons in. Got 3 in.
As you can see, I walked in and I'm working on it just like I thought I would. Leaving me out. Working on installing pistons. At this point, got the valves, springs, everything in, adjusted. We got the camshaft installed. Lifters. Obviously got the crankshaft in. The rods mounted to the pistons, and we got half the pistons in.
Yeah.
We're moving right along. I know it's been a little bit tedious having to check tolerances and clearance all along the way. One of those critical things you need to do to make sure metal isn't slapping metal once you go to fire your motor up. Check out the new piston rings. Rings installed. Still ever see them, but pretty new pistons. Look cool on the bench anyway.
Yeah. Get all sharpened up. My buddy in your way.
It's alright. Never claimed to be a videographer. While I'm down here looking at the crank, I'll point this out. This was something, sorry about the noise, bought for Dad from Speedway Motors. They recommend. It actually strengthens that center main cap. And then you can adjust that. Put a little torque on the center of it. Seems to be the kind of one of the weak links with the Flathead. Well, it's coming along, slowly but surely. Promise we'll get it on video when we finally fire the motor up. I won't let them do that part without me.
Just snug them up. It feels kind of even. And we got both clutch wrenches set up. 30 pounds, and then the other one for the final torque of 45 foot-pounds.
Wait till I get them all into final torque. Or do you do it one at a time?
No, I do one at a time as I go. So that's 30.
4 in, 4 to go.
Yeah.
Halfway there.
What's that?
At some point, we're going to have to come over here and start making some headway and clean this up. He's going to have that motor ready before we got a home to sink it into. We got a little bit of cleanup work to do in here while things are out. You can put a nice, fresh, sexy new motor back in there. We'll get that cleaned up. I finally got all 4 wheels to the car too. If you haven't seen the other video on that, check it out. Show off the wheels a little bit. Unfortunately, review what a crummy company wheel Ventiques was, but at least we got the wheels. I figured out some tires. We'll get those on here eventually too. So you guys are like this. We're keeping it real old school. This is our piston ring compressor. I believe this is something my grandfather hand assembled years ago. This is about as archaic and old school as it gets. Gotta love that. Bet's not too many of you guys have this laying around your garage.
Yeah.
What brand were these pistons?
They're Summits.
Summit?
Not Summit, I'm sorry, Speedway.
Speedway, yeah. Speedway Motor sells a lot of the Flathead parts and components. They've kind of been a big resource for Dad, I know.
And I basically use them just because they had things a little cheaper. I didn't feel the need to build a high dollar motor.
Yeah, unfortunately these Flathead motors aren't exactly inexpensive to build, considering the amount of power that they don't produce. This is definitely more for the nostalgia and originality of the car. They had their inherent flaws for sure, and there's not a whole lot of them around. Most people that are sinking money into a high dollar car, unless it is something like this where you're trying to keep the original motor, aren't spending the money to build a Flathead anymore. So the parts aren't exactly inexpensive.
Just because it takes a while for the oil to get splashed up on the pistons. Lots of oil for the startup.
Yeah, definitely don't want it running dry at any point.
Just using break-in oil.
Yeah, Dad grabbed some Royal Purple from the store, but we'll get them swapped over to Amsoil here before we fire this thing up. They definitely have a unique sound. Everybody's running all the LS swaps and everything now, so it's kind of cool to see the old school motors when you go to the cruise-ins and car shows.
Yeah. See, this is number 3. Put my oil drew a gap at the top. Don't have to, but I just do.
At least got a nice clean bench to work on.
Well, it's clean, even though it may be cluttered. Oops. Protectors on.
Yeah, we don't gouge things up.
These studs are pretty hard compared to the crank surface. It'll put little dings in them in the crank.
Lined up. Sorta.
Yeah, even if they're not, I can turn them.
You're there.
Sounded like it. I've been doing this too, just to get some oil in the journal.
Can't hurt. Those that are concerned, it's not just oil. Also using the assembly lube. In case you guys were wondering what the blue tube was, anytime any of you guys have worked with the ARP fasteners, you know, they sell the assembly lube that they recommend with all their fasteners, so that's what that was. Supposedly help with a more even torque reading. Five down, 3 to go. Alright guys, unfortunately I gotta get back to work. Dad's gonna keep chipping away. Apologize, I missed the cam install, wasn't able to be here. Said Dad's retired now, he's got a whole lot more flexibility than I got, but we'll check back with him. I'm sure he's gonna keep chipping away there, and we'll check back, see what kind of progress he's got next time, and see what we can help out with. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. Please take a second, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Keep following this as well as other projects, and we'll see you guys on the next one.